Hey everyone, I'm Howard Pinsky, and continuing on in our gaming platform series, we're going to take a look at building out the navigation bar, including the collapsed and expanded state. Let's get to it. Here we are in Adobe XD with the gaming platform we've been designing. And starting off our look into the navigation bar, let's begin by adding in some content. At the top of our navigation, we're going to display the platform's logo. Over in this Creative Cloud library, I have some images that I'll be using for this project. And whether yours are in a library like mine or in a folder on your computer, dragging one into a vector shape will mask it nicely in place. With that added, the size can be adjusted by either transforming the overall bounds or by double-clicking on the layer to scale and position the image within its mask. Next up, we have 5 placeholders for the icons that will populate this section below the logo. Very similar to the image we dragged in, we can also bring icons into these shapes. I currently have a few collections loaded into Nucleo, including this fun Cocoa library from UI8. Knowing that the first link will be for the home screen, I'll search that up top, and then drag the icons straight in. Since these icons are SVGs, an object mask was created to house the assets, where I can quickly access the vector layers if edits like color changes are needed. Now, if you don't currently have icons at your disposal, there are several XD plugins that you can use, including Icons for Design. Simply search for what you need at the top, and click on one to add it to your project. It's good to note that this plugin in specific doesn't support drag and drop, so you may need to manually place the icons after they've been added. Now that our 5 icons are ready to go, because we set up a stack in the previous video, any of them can be dragged up or down to rearrange. Before we move on to the next section, we may also want to include a subtle highlight around the active icon. In this case, Home. Now, if I were to grab the rectangle tool and draw one out in this stack, you might notice that the icons split to make room for the new layer. And this is exactly what should happen, but not what we want to happen. So in this case, we'll want to make sure that the new layer is drawn inside a group along with the associated icon. This will ensure that they're treated as one object inside the overall stack. Styling-wise, we can keep this shape simple with a dark tone and slightly rounded corners. Or we can add a touch of fun by adding an additional shape in the back with a vibrant gradient applied to it. Since we're dealing with 2 rounded rectangles here, we'll want to make sure to tweak the corner radius so that they visually line up. Now, knowing that we'll be adding some text layers beside these icons shortly, I'll quickly go through and create additional groups. Or if you prefer to use the existing object masks, make sure to extend the mask layer out to the right. Great. Next up, we may want to populate the area below our icons with a list of our friends. There are quite a few ways to fill these shapes with images, including using a repeat grid, which we'll explore in the next video. But since we're on a plugins kick, let's keep going. Back over in my never-ending list of plugins, I have UI Faces installed, which will work perfectly for this section. Jumping into the stack, I'll go ahead and select all 5 shapes. Then within the plugin, the source can be chosen, or if none are selected, all will be used. Let's go with Unsplash. Then down below, we can manually select the photos or apply them randomly. While I have these shapes selected, I'm going to bump up the corner radius within the Properties Inspector to round them out into circles. Alright, the bulk of our content is now in place, but seeing that we're going to be creating an expanded view for this navigation bar, we need to start thinking about what that's going to look like. Pulling out the main container for a moment, let's add some additional content, and in specific, text layers that will settle beside the icons. Now, we'll want to make sure we add these text layers inside the individual groups along with the icons so that they remain on the same row. Otherwise, as you saw earlier, the stack would treat the new layers as separate objects. Very quickly, knowing that I'll be shifting these text layers over in a moment, I'm going to drag out a guide from the left to mark this location. Alright, I've gone through and added the text layers beside the icons and friends list at the bottom, and also included a settings icon at the top right. But of course, we don't want all of these displayed in the initial state. So to hide what we don't want visible, let's utilize an object mask. With the background container selected, I'm going to quickly duplicate it with Command and Control D. Then make sure it's above all layers that are part of this navigation bar. With that in place, we'll want to select everything that we want masked. Then under the Object menu, we'll mask with shape. This will create a mask group, which I'll name Navigation. Then the first layer within this group will be what determines what's visible and what isn't. So if I transform it inwards closer to the icons, the text layers will become masked outside of the bounds. Before we create our component, I'm going to quickly shift the text layers over to the right, and maybe even stagger them a touch. This will create a feeling that they're entering at different speeds when the component is expanded. This is completely optional, but sometimes adds a nice effect. Perfect. With that all set, let's create our component. With the overall group selected, a component can be created either within your document assets, the Command or Control K shortcut, or within the Properties Inspector. And since we've already done the work to design what the default state should look like, we can immediately create the second by pressing the plus button one more time. There are several ways we can interact with this navigation bar, but it might be nice to have it expand on hover. And the lightning icon over to the right lets us know that the interaction will be wired up automatically. With the hover state now created, we can dive into our component and make some changes. And the first and most important change will be to the mask. We'll want to expand it outwards so that the text layers will be visible, somewhere in this area here. Next, we can go through and shift our text layers back over to the left. And if you've gone ahead and set up a guide, snapping them in place will be a breeze. Wonderful. Our hover state is now complete, and all there is left to do is switch back over to the default state and launch the preview, where I can now hover over the navigation to expand it and then move off to collapse. And that's how you can build out a navigation bar in Adobe XD with a collapsed and expanded state. Definitely stick around for the next video in this series, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you all next time.